Consumer prices for the month of July were up marginally by 0.6% as Belizean households saw a slight increase in the cost of goods and services.
The inflation rate for the month of July 2017 stood at 0.6%. This means that on average, prices were 0.6% higher than they were in July of 2016. The inflation rate for the first 7 months of the year 2017 stood at 1.4%. As we look at the inflation rate by major categories, the food and non-alcoholic beverages category recorded a 0.7% decrease. Housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels recorded a 0.4% increase. The transport index recorded the largest increase at 6.3%, and the other categories of goods and services recorded a 0.6% decrease.
The External Trade Bulletin, on the other hand, indicates that imports and exports for the month of July are down by 8.4% and 5.3% respectively.
Falling imports within the category of machinery and transport equipment was the primary cause of the overall decline in imports. That category dropped by almost a quarter, or 68 million to 212 million, with items such as telecommunication parts, vehicles, and agricultural equipment being in greatest decline. Additionally, imports of food and live animals fell by 15 million to 125 million as the country imported less wheat seed and coffee over the period. Accounting for over a third of Belize's domestic exports, sugar remains the country's most significant export earner. Having a 37% increase in exported volume, higher prices, particularly on the European market, drove earnings for that commodity up by 61%, or 41.1 million, to 109 million for the January to July 2017 period. Within the period, Belize's banana exports performed well, growing by 11%, or 4.7 million, to 46.7 million.
Economic activities between the months of April and June grew by 1.1%, bringing the total value of goods and services produced locally to $737 million in the second quarter. That's an increase of approximately $8 million when compared to the same period in 2016. Perhaps the most interesting comparison is the growing cost of fuel. Costs at the pump were compared for the same period in 2016 and 2017, and the increase is apparent.
If we look at fuel prices in July 2016 and 17, premium gasoline stood at $9.51 in July of 2016 to $11.04 in July of 2017. Regular gasoline stood at $9.56 and is now at $10.10 in July of 2017, while diesel stood at $8.55, and in July of 2017 it stood at $8.94.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.